Welcome back to the Green Room. We got a very special guest with us today. It is Patrick Benske.
Yay!
I'd like to introduce him as the founder of Ethos Group, the CMO and co-founder of Plutus X, named one of the top 10 entrepreneurs under 30. How are you doing, Patrick?
You're good, and you?
I'm doing well.
Awesome.
It's good to see you again.
You too.
It's been a while.
I mean, I saw you around like on Instagram and white cap here, driving car around there. But
yeah, exactly.
That's about it.
Yeah, it's funny how you can live in the same town and area and still not see somebody for a long time.
I mean, it's probably my fault because I'm always at home. I don't go out much. So
that's okay. Yeah. It's because you're hustling.
Yeah. Hustling online.
I see you online all the time. Man, that's crazy. That's how many videos do you upload a day?
Well, on the stories, probably like 10, 20.
Oh.
Sometimes less. Like sometimes you just don't feel like it.
Yeah.
I mean, some people think they have to be on there every day, but
I never feel like it.
if you don't feel like it, then you don't have to, right?
Yeah. I know.
Even if you have a big following. So, yeah, I mean, probably like 10 videos on story, 15 videos on story, and then a few videos here and there on the feed.
That's crazy.
How long did it take you to get like comfortable at doing that? Like that's such an awkward.
You know, people think it's awkward, but once you do it for a week, you're natural.
Okay.
It's just like talking to another person.
Yeah.
So do you use like a selfie stick or do you just hold your phone?
No, I just hold my phone.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all on your phone?
Yeah, it's on my phone.
I want to point out that I see it looks like there's a beauty filter on your videos constantly.
It's a focus filter.
Okay.
So it blurs out the background.
Yeah. Okay. I'm like,
he's just calling you beautiful. That's crazy.
No, it's good. And I mean, I watch those videos a lot, and even I've been using tools that you've recommended.
Same here. Like
Display Purpose is one of my favorites. Like that one I didn't know of, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. This is awesome. This is like the best thing ever. Yeah.
It's funny how when you're not, like you must constantly be researching this stuff, hey?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it's funny, like I hear you talk about stuff, I'm like, how do you even find all that stuff? Like, it's cool. I mean, it shows the dedication that you have.
And I'm surrounded with those people too. So if I don't find something, they do, and then we just share it with each other, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like where did you grow up? Like what brought you to the Patrick Benske we got sitting in front of us today?
Sure. Okay, let's go back to, well, I guess Germany. I was born there. I think I was 10 when we moved to Canada.
What city did you live in Germany?
It was like a small town, Lahnbrück, and then it's like between Hamburg and Bremen. It's like almost in the middle.
Okay.
So then we moved out here. I was 11 years old then, and then you don't have a lot of friends when you move. New language, don't speak English except some of the words we learned in school. So then what I did is I went on YouTube and I just watched videos like every normal kid does. I mean, not normal, but...
Like, did you watch in English or in German?
In English.
In English,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
To help you learn?
Well, not to learn, it's just, I don't know
just
why.
Just because you were?
It just happened, yeah.
That's fair.
So then I stumbled upon this video. They were designing like things in Photoshop, and that's when I first saw Photoshop. I was like, wow, this thing is awesome. Mm-hmm. You can design all these cool things with it. I mean, you guys know you're a designer.
Yeah.
And then started watching tutorials, got a little better at it with Photoshop. I didn't have a lot of friends or anything that I spent time with on a daily basis.
So you spent time with Photoshop?
Exactly, yes. So that was my best friend back then. Yeah. Unfortunately, not as much anymore today, but... So yeah, I got better at Photoshop. I started designing things for people on forums.
Yeah.
And then from there, people started asking money for it. They'd pay me like a few bucks here and there. Like I didn't know anything about business, so I just took like $5 for a design or $2 for design.
Oh man.
Like I was just doing what I love doing, right? Which was designing things in Photoshop. So I got good at graphic design. Wouldn't say I was the best at it, but I liked it and I enjoyed doing it. And then from there, let's skip to, let's say, high school. I went from design into web design, So how to build websites. And then through that process, I built my own channel on YouTube, which is now, I think, 15 subscribers. I think my top video got 600,000 views.
Holy.
Yeah. So, and that one is a coding video, and it's not even design anymore. So I went through all the way, like from design to coding to building websites, web design. And then after high school, I launched a design agency with my partner, Patrick. You guys probably know him too.
Yep.
So we did that for 2-3 years, and then we merged with a local company. And then after that, I joined another company, helped them with their marketing and vice versa. And then, went back on my own. So that's kind of the journey I have to take. Feel like couldn't work for someone else. I got to be on my own. So I took that leap of faith, worked out well so far. And that's kind of the small version.
You ever have like a panic attack when you went out on your own and you didn't have any revenue coming in, and because you have a small family, right? Like you have a daughter and a wife.
Got married young. So
how old are you, Patrick?
23.
Oh,
yeah.
23.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I've been always a person like I want to do things now, not later. So I know I want to be married. I know I want to have kids. So why not just get a head start, right?
Hey, that's fair. Why do we pick somebody that's going to make us feel lazy for the show?
Maybe to light a fire on our asses.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh, it's good.
Under our asses,
No, that's cool.
Beautiful kid, beautiful wife. Everyone's healthy. It's good. What was your question? I think we went a little off road there.
Oh yeah. So like, what did that feel like? Like, did you ever have like a panic attack where you're like, I don't know where my next paycheck's coming from? Because you went out and you kind of just jumped into the water, right? Like you didn't have like a stack of cash that you could like. Well, I don't know that, but I'm assuming you just kind of jumped in and went rock and roll on it.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have a ton of savings. I mean, we had some saved up for a few months, but didn't really have to touch it. I mean, when I quit my job, I didn't really have additional income, to be honest. But I did have I built a following online that I could monetize like this if I wanted to. So that was my kind of how do you say that?
Your drive.
My drive, and it's like a lot of people don't have it. So that's something I had, and I'm very grateful for it that I had it. Because I just built it over time. Didn't really, just doing what I love, basically.
Right. They kind of grew naturally.
Yeah, it kind of grew naturally. Like I just shared tips with people. This is how you do this. This is what you do this. And if you solve problems for people, they like you, they learn from you, and then it just kind of grew like that. But I always, when you attach to a fear like that of not having money, there's a big chance you're going to attract that more of that fear. Like if you think I'm not going to have money, I'm always going to be broke, you're going to stay there. But if you go into it with optimism, and you have a mindset of actually believing there's money out there, just get it from that person to me, right? And it's an exchange of value. So if you provide someone with value and it's good value and they perceive it as value, then they're going to pay you for it.
Sure.
So, I knew if I'm going to get out there, I'm going to provide a service to people, I'm going to serve the people, and they're going to pay me for it.
That takes a lot of confidence.
Yeah,
I think that takes a lot.
Yeah, but for me, I was in the space for a longer time, so I had all the experience I needed in marketing and business.
Sure.
So that helped me kind of have the confidence that I know I can get the result for people.
Right, because you knew what you were talking about. Yeah. I mean that.
Yeah, and that's why I always tell people when you go into business, don't go into business thinking you're going to make a lot of money. Just start a business that you're passionate about and that you like doing. Because then, first of all, the money, it's if you have a slow month or you don't make money right away, it's going to be easier for you because you actually enjoy what you're doing. If you go after money first, you're going to get tired of it pretty quickly, right? And then you're going to be jumping around between businesses, not finding really anything sustainable. Because
then fear grabs a hold of you, and that's kind of what keeps you back, right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about, how do you say it? Plutus X?
Plutus X.
Plutus?
Yeah.
X.
Yeah. I've been curious about I've been on the website probably 100 times, and I'm still
confused.
Yes.
Yeah. So
tell the people.
Okay, so little track back here. So while I was doing the marketing, I also got into finance. So trading Forex. I don't know if you're familiar with Forex. But it's like trading the financial markets, so like trading USD CAD, US dollar versus Canadian dollar, things like that. so I got into that as well. I kind of went through like a, I guess a crisis, finding my identity kind of.
Gotcha, yeah.
What platform did you use for that?
So there's a bunch of different brokers you can use. Back then I used IC Markets, which they don't serve Canada anymore.
Okay.
Right now we're using FX Choice. But so I got into finance and then started trading currencies. Did that for 2 years. But then decided I'm not very passionate about that specific, because for me, my thing is I love like serving and helping people. Mm-hmm. And when you're trading, you don't really get that fulfillment from it because you're just trading money. So then I actually started teaching it too, because I got more fulfillment from it. But then I thought, okay, I'm teaching it, but I'm actually not trading as much anymore. So I thought, okay, maybe it's not right for me to do it. So then I went full into marketing again, and then I stumbled into crypto, blockchain. You've probably heard of Bitcoin. Yeah. Bitcoin bubble.
Were you riding that bubble when it?
I was riding the bubble. Yes.
Good for you.
Yeah. Well, I didn't sell at the top, but
well, as long as you sell close to the top, you're okay.
Yeah. Well, actually, I heard about Ethereum when it was $20, so they went all the way to 400.
See, I kick myself because in 2010, 2011, I was heavily on Reddit constantly. Yeah. I'm sure you've heard of Reddit. And me and my coworker at the time, Mike Neufeld, he lives in Switzerland now. Me and him, we talked about buying Bitcoin because it was like $15, and then we were like, nah, this is BS. It's just gonna tank anyway. I really wish I had just thrown $300 at it, but you live and you learn, right?
Yeah.
C'est la vie.
Yeah, I mean, then I learned more about the technology. Yeah. The hype got me into it. Mm-hmm. But then when we actually looked into the technology behind it, I mean, that's really the benefit of it, right? The technology. Like, if you look at the banks, you can say they're behind. Like, if you want to send money to someone across the country, right? It'll high fees. It'll take a couple of days. Or if you want to buy an RV in Nova Scotia, for example, you want to buy a car or an RV. If you can
transfer. You
can do a bank transfer or you can do e-transfer. It's faster, but you can only send like $1,000 a day, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you got to split it over a few days. With blockchain, you can send millions within seconds, and the fees are so low, right? Mm-hmm. So then we saw, that there's a gap between that technology and the actual banking industry. Oh. And so Plutus X wants to bridge that gap and provide a better banking service for the people. And I don't know if you guys have the same belief, but a lot of the banks, they're pretty greedy with their money. It's corporate, right? Of course.
I'm right with you.
Yeah. So
I know Goose hates the banks.
Yeah.
Goose does.
Yeah. And what you don't know is when you give them money, they actually trade it, right?
Of course.
So they trade it in the forex market.
They make money with your money, and
exactly.
You get what, 2%?
Yeah, 2% a year. So we have the banking, right? Now we have wealth management. So we trade other people's money. So we started that in December last year, just at the end of the year. And just from December to April today, we did 250% in total in returns.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So imagine a bank that can give you 30% a month.
Yeah.
I mean, those results are not like guaranteed. Yeah. And
it's always a risk.
There's always a risk, right? Like, so
you go high risk?
Yeah, we go. Or
do you have like a portfolio where you can choose?
Not right now. So we're still in like early stages.
Okay.
Yeah. So like very early stages. Right now it's just one kind of like one fund, and then there's one risk. But we have risk management in place. We know this is how much we can risk. This is how much we can lose. For example, we just came out of a drawdown this week. So drawdown is when you go into like a minus, but you don't close the position.
Okay.
So let's say you like minus $200, but you don't close it until you're back in plus again, right?
Oh, I see.
Or if you see it goes down lower, then you might want to close it.
Right.
Yeah. So like this week we were in a drawdown minus 20% of, let's say you had an account of $1,000, you would be $200 in like drawdown, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So
be at $800.
Yeah.
Can I understand that?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah. So you would be left with $800. But you know, we didn't close position. We have a team who looks at the market 24/7.
Kind of education.
Yeah. So now we're out of the drawdown. We're minus 10% in total. But today we did like 5% in return total.
Okay.
Because while those other positions are still running low, we have other positions that are running in profit.
Sure.
That makes sense.
So it finds a balance.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So, with the whole sending money, like, do you guys do that internationally as well, or is it just Canada wide right now?
Yeah, it's international.
It is.
Yeah, so the banking platform isn't up yet.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually waiting to go public on the US stock exchange. Banks.
Okay. Yeah.
And hopefully we can uplist to the New York Stock Exchange as well within a few years. It's a little process, but so once the public side is done, then we can go more in depth on the banking space.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, our primary focus is just the wealth management. Yeah.
So once you go public, you have to get a board and a whole whack of stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
How much are you selling stock for?
Well, right now we're not trading on.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You know what? Let's take a quick break, and we can come back to the conversation.
Sure.
Welcome back, everybody. We're talking here with Patrick and Plutus X. I said that right?
That's right.
Look at that. See, I'm learning.
He can learn. It's good.
Yay!
Yeah, we were just talking about taking it public.
Yeah.
Eventually, and
we're in the process. Actually, it's an interesting process. So we're not. The way it works, this is the fastest way to go public. So a public company buys us, acquires us, and then we do a name change.
okay.
So that's otherwise it's just it's more expensive and it takes so long.
Yeah.
So we found like a shell. Shell basically a company that's public but it's not really operating.
Right.
So they bought us, and then now we're gonna do the name change and everything. So we're just waiting for that process to finish.
So do you know? Can you say what the name is going to be, or is
No,
that
not yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. I thought maybe we could get it here first. No, that's cool. So they make you change the name. Is that, or is it an option of keeping?
Yeah,
it?
I mean, because it's us who wants to go public, like Plutus X. So
Okay.
yeah,
So it's not that they make you, but if you want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah, I like it. I did not know that's what it did.
Yeah, that's
cool.
like,
yeah.
Yeah,
The
no,
small-
no doubt.
30% of it.
Well, and
Well,
even,
I assume so. Yeah.
even just looking on the website, like I noticed that not everything is functional yet, but
Yeah.
that makes perfect sense. It's,
Yeah.
it's not a fully operating elephant,
Yeah, exactly.
so to speak. You like that?
I like it.
I saw what you did there.
Yeah.
You said fully operated.
Oh man, I'm glad we never did our IQ tests.
Yeah, I don't know if I would pass that.
No,
I don't think so.
no.
What inspires you, Patrick? A person, I don't know, things.
So what inspires me?
Other than
life
you know,
inspires
Other than Goose.
yeah. Other than me, who inspires you?
me. Just general life really inspires me.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to do things, and just what fulfills me is when I know that I've helped someone.
Yeah.
That's what really fulfills me. If I know that you have a problem, and I can step in, I can get you from your current situation to a desired outcome. That's what really fires me up and gives me like goosebumps.
Yeah, they're trademark. They're called Patrick bumps when they're on you.
Yeah. So that and I do it for my family and just so that I can have an impact in someone's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're very optimistic. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that about you. Have you always been like super?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I didn't really notice it when I was younger,
Yeah.
but I think
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
What time do you get up in the morning?
Today's 6:30. Yeah, so it's not that early.
It's
Oh,
not that
well, you beat me about 15 minutes.
I think my girlfriend kicked me around 6:30, and then I finally got out of bed around 7.
Around 7. I did before that, so Yeah.
So we're not too far behind you.
No.
That's good. That's good.
We like
That
to.
gives me hope.
No, that's good.
I mean, sleep is important,
Mhm.
right?
Do you eat
Like,
breakfast every day?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
even nowadays, a lot of people, they talk about the hustle and grinding and all night and stay up all night until this thing is finished. But like if you do that, it's gonna hurt you more than getting right amount of sleep and then getting back to work in the morning,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I do try to get a good amount of sleep.
So working from home, do you keep like a discipline of I'm gonna work from 7:30 or 8 to noon and then take some time off, or what does that look like? Do you just randomly work when you feel like it?
No, you got to put systems in place to make sure things get done.
Yeah.
And then if I want to schedule time with family, I just put on my calendar so I don't get booked or anything. But yeah, no, I get up in the morning, make breakfast, eat breakfast with the family, and then usually start around 8 or 9. In the morning I do so I get up, drink water, it's the first thing I do. And then teeth brushing, of course, and all that. But then I do praying and then listening to an audiobook, just getting ready for the day. And then, eat breakfast all together and then go to work.
Speaking of audiobooks.
That's where I was going to go.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, you ask
going.
it, man.
No, you go for
I
it.
keep talking.
Go for it.
What's a book that you think everybody should read at least one time in their life? Other than the Bible.
I was going to say that.
We know you.
That's a good question. There's so many. I mean, if you want to
If you had to choose one book if you met a homeless person on the street and there was one book that could turn this guy around, what would you choose?
Well, first, I don't think there's one book that can change someone's life. It's a accumulation of multiple experiences and books.
Okay.
So, first of all, I can't answer the question.
Where would you start?
There's one. So there's what was it called? No, I forgot the book name.
No. I can't help you.
No, me neither.
Oh, it's fine.
I think. Well, okay. Can I tell you too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes,
so,
of course.
Unfuck Yourself and then Think and Grow Rich. Those are probably the two.
Think and Grow Rich?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the books that kind of people say made the most millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So I guess we know what we're reading.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you like to read, or do you prefer audiobooks?
Audiobooks, yeah, because then I can do other things,
Right.
like driving or just sitting.
Yeah, you shouldn't read. Well, you shouldn't read a book while you're driving, kids.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's interesting because I have a tough time concentrating to read a book, and I've been wanting to try the audiobooks, see if that makes a difference.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially for working. Like, I'm on the computer 8 hours a day.
You could easily power through
Exactly.
books,
Oh, yeah.
man.
Yeah, so I was thinking of downloading some books and listening to them while I'm working, and maybe doing that.
Yeah, like
I
I used to drive to the city
Yeah.
once, twice a week. So like that's 1.5 hour there and then 1.5 hour back. Sometimes 2 hours back, depending on
Can
traffic.
power through half a
Oh,
book.
so much knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, podcasts are good to listen to while you work, but sometimes you just need something else.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Joe Rogan is one of my favorites because they're super long. So, so you can put one on in the morning and just listen to it and you work, right? But
Takes up half your day.
yeah, exactly, right? So, but yeah, no, it's cool.
Yeah, you should try Audible. I'm gonna buy that for your birthday.
I use Script.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Free or what?
It's pay like $10 a month.
Okay.
But with Audible, you pay per book. So here you just pay the membership.
Oh, really? I thought Audible was a membership thing too.
You get like certain amount of books a month, I think, unless they
okay.
change it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it.
Yeah, I
for
want
a long
one of
time.
those. I can just do whatever. I don't have to be
Yeah.
like, oh, this book sucks.
Do you mainly stick to educational books, or do you occasionally go into fantasy or just like stories?
No, not usually like business, mindset, like personal development things. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. What about you? What are you reading right now, Goose?
I'm reading 2 books. I'm reading The Dark Tower by Stephen King because I like fantasy books. I'm on the 4th one, Wizard and Glass it's called. And I'm also reading the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Cohen.
That's pretty cool.
It is a good one.
Yeah.
I'm about almost a quarter ways through, and so far so good.
Do you take notes along?
Yes. Well, I highlight stuff since they're my books.
Right.
I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do. Yeah.
Nice.
Did you watch the Fire Festival movie?
Oh yeah.
Like, as a marketing guy, what do you think of that disaster?
Good.
Just, you heard it here. 5 stars.
No, he's a good marketer, but there's two things. There's marketing and there's execution, right? Mm-hmm. So you can hype things up, but if things fall through, then your trust is.
Well, it makes you a crook.
Yeah.
Things will burn.
Yeah.
Down.
Well, and like.
Well, it's like it's if you go on Amazon, you look at this car, it looks like an awesome car, and you get it's just a toy, right?
That's right.
Toy car.
Yeah, that is the same thing.
It's all perception, right?
Yeah. So, yeah.
So like the branding and the marketing was good, but the execution sucked. So.
Yeah, that was something else.
It was hard to watch, like when people showed up on the island.
So bad. I feel bad for those people.
Yeah, me too.
Wasn't Blink-182 supposed to play that show or that festival?
Yeah, they backed out.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Do you buy into the 80-20 principle?
A little bit, yeah.
Why only a little bit?
I mean, like, I'm not like into the 80-20, everything 80-20. I just like what I do is I have a list and I look at like what things on the list is going to have the biggest impact, and then that's what I work on. So it's almost like the 80-20, but not really. Mm-hmm. If I think about the 80-20, I kind of get confused a little bit. So I just keep it simple, like, hey, this is what I need to do, and what do I need to do, and what's going to have the biggest impact, right? So, for example, when people start a business, they want to get the business card, they want to get the logo, they want to get fancy and schmancy, but all you need in the beginning is just sales, right? If you don't have the sales, your business card is not going to do anything. So, just an example, like finding the right priorities to work on. So that's kind of how I think about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Have you ever, back to books here, Eat That Frog? Have you listened to that one or read that one?
I haven't heard of it.
I can't remember the author right now. He talks about the 80-20 principle, but he relates it to if your workday is a bunch of frogs, you should always look for the biggest one first to get it over with.
Yeah.
Right. And so that correlates exactly to what you were saying.
Yeah.
It makes sense, man.
No, it does. Yeah.
Grab the ugliest, biggest, fattest bullfrog there is and just bite it on the head.
Yeah.
Get it over with.
Yeah, and a lot of times the things that have the biggest impact are things we don't want to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They take the most effort.
Yeah.
But that's why they have the biggest impact.
Yeah. The things that make you step out of your comfort zone, right? Yeah.
Well, me and Goose always carpool to work, and we have those conversations on the way. We're like, now we got to do this yet, and we're like, we don't want to, but we both know we have to, right?
Yeah.
That's what I like about carpooling with you, actually, because then we can talk about how to develop this show, right?
Yeah.
And how to make
make
this animal
and
bigger.
The good thing is when you drive, your brain is in theta mode. Are you familiar with brain waves?
I know I have them.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
so,
like you have to an extent.
When you've been in the shower, you always get good ideas, right?
Yeah.
It's because your brain goes into theta mode. And similar, like when you do activities that you don't really think of, like if you drive the same,
like monotonous,
you drive to work every day the same route, right?
Yeah.
So it's sometimes you're driving and you're like, whoa, I didn't even know I'm driving.
Yeah.
Like I'm already at work.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
So because your brain switches on theta mode and your ideas just come to you like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
If you drive your car, it's a good
time to process those thoughts.
And we do. Like it's a good drive always. So
yeah, I was gonna say some of our better ideas come out when we're driving.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably because you're in theta mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'm like, I'm gonna wait till we actually drive to work or come home to talk about certain things with Goose, and then it's been good.
Yeah, or even when people say, before you do this decision, like go to bed first, sleep on it, and then in the morning you can make a decision. It's because before you go to bed, your brain goes into theta mode, and then your brain starts processing everything, and then when you wake up, you have a new idea, or you know how to do
a new solution to a problem that you couldn't figure out.
Yeah.
Huh.
Never thought of that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's good to know.
Well, I mean, it makes sense now.
Yeah.
Good explanation.
Are you a fan of Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's.
I was going to say
some people, they call themselves entrepreneurs. They launch in the Shopify store. No, they're not entrepreneur. But if like Elon is the real like OG entrepreneur.
Sure.
Yeah.
PayPal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything. PayPal, like SpaceX and Tesla. Like he has so many like companies, and he's done pretty well for himself. But he still sleeps at the factory. Right.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah.
Which is impressive.
Yeah.
Like
or even when he sold PayPal, he put all the money back into his next company, right?
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, he was saying too in one of the interviews that his last few millions, he put them in. He said if it would have failed, he would have been broke and done.
Yeah.
And he's just like, here it is.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I admire that guy quite a bit.
I was listening to, speaking of Joe Rogan again, Brian Cox was on there. He's a physicist from England. And, oh man, that conversation, like I grasped very little of it. It was very complex. But they did bring up SpaceX, and I'll make this short because we got to take a break here in a little bit. He said the best thing that could have happened for humankind to travel and expand, like, because Mars is the obvious choice to go next, right, as to where humans could live. But he says that SpaceX is the answer, although it's a very tiny portion right now. They want to mine asteroids, and they want to mine like rocks in space, because why are you going to pollute Earth if you can just go to space, mine all that stuff, bring it back to Earth, and create a healthier planet where we can live on and do all the dirty stuff in space, because there's way more room for it to go, right?
Yeah.
And it's a billion trillion dollar industry if you can mine in space. Like, it sounds like science fiction, but it's actually going to happen.
Yeah. Well, and then the coolest thing with the black hole they
had a rocket launch today too.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
That was really I love rockets. I love rockets.
But like the black hole image that they captured,
yeah,
like, that was really cool. Like,
well, that just shows what happens when all the countries work together. Because I mean, they used every telescope on the planet to take this picture, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize, but they took this picture like months ago, and the reason it only came out now is because the airports in South Pole weren't operational until now, so they couldn't fly the data out from.
That makes sense.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Patrick.
Woo!
At littleblackpocket.com, you'll find a simple solution to discover the perfect case for your phone. Use promo code TGR25 and save 25% today. Welcome back. We're still here with Patrick Benske.
Still here.
That's good. You haven't ran away yet. We were just talking a little bit about Elon Musk and SpaceX, and I nerded out a little bit too much there.
It's all good.
Speaking of entrepreneurs, you were featured in the magazine Entrepreneur as, somebody under 30.
Top 10.
Top 10 under 30. Thank you, Ed, for helping me out there.
Yeah, no problem.
So, how did you land that spot? Like, how did somebody find you, or did you reach out, or?
Yeah, so an editor from Entrepreneur, they reached out to me on Instagram. Told me running this article. Do you want to be on? I said, yeah, sure.
Yeah. The end. Goodbye. No, cool. That's really
literally
sweet.
all it is. Yeah.
And then I saw that Pimna Valley Online did an article on that as well.
Yeah.
And,
they blasted me all over the radio.
That's
I told them I don't want to be on the radio, but then I guess they did.
And then they did it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
That's fine. People liked it.
Yeah.
That's good.
I did avoid the radio for that week though.
Is it one of those things where you don't like to listen to your own voice? Because you record yourself constantly, but
I'm not a believer in radio. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding. No, I don't know. I just didn't think it's the right place.
Yeah.
For it to be distributed. Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
I like the online version more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
But they did both, so can't complain.
Do you listen to radio?
Yeah, I guess now I do. When I like, it depends on my drive. If I drive to Winnipeg, then I put on like an audiobook or music or something, just from my phone. But if I just quick drive in Winkler, then usually the radio, 93.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Sorry,
right.
I was pulling out my notes here.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Now it's gone. Oh yeah, what do you? Winkler was recently, I thought, showed was the number 2 city in Canada.
Don't get me started on that one.
Oh, right.
Well,
No,
that's what I wanted to.
Oh,
I wanted to
yes.
get you started on that. What is your thoughts on that?
Well, did you read my story on it?
I didn't. I did.
No, I don't think I did
like
either.
it was kind of taken out of context, right? So they said like in Canada, but they should have had under 150,000 population. That was the catch, right?
So it's kind of a smoke and mirrors kind of article.
Yeah.
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 I mean, from a marketing perspective, branding makes sense. Like, put Winkler out there, but and at least include in the article at the bottom or something. You know, it's under 150K population. Yeah, because if you look at like the actual top 10, it's not even on the list because it's like Vancouver, Toronto. And, you know.
Well, for sure. I mean, how can you compete with those cities? Like,
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, really. Like,
See, and that's the thing where the article, one of the headlines was like, and it's not even Toronto or Vancouver or like.
Oh, they said that?
Yeah, it said
oh
it
my
on the
word!
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
It looks like they didn't even look into it themselves then.
Yeah, so then I'm like, how does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like anybody is in these cities, so I don't know. But I figured I would ask you.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, let's leave it there.
No, please go on.
Well, and in the art, what kind of ticked me off was in the article it said, if you want to start a business, you know, just have some hope and do it, or like you go into business having the hope, but you know.
Yeah, I saw a comment that you made on that.
Yeah. Maybe I understood it the wrong way. Maybe they wrote it the wrong way. I don't know. But you know, you don't go into business hoping it'll start. You just go all in and then you make it work. Either like, or you just don't do it at all.
Yeah.
But either way, you learn something from it, right?
Yeah.
Like no matter what, education's never free. You pay for it one way or another.
Yeah.
So no,
Yeah.
I liked your comment on that because you're right. If you're just going on hope, then well, you might as well just piss against the wind, right?
Yeah.
You hope that it doesn't hit you.
Yeah. I mean, and if it really doesn't work out, then at least you don't have to regret that you didn't try, right?
Right.
But yeah, it's just the mindset of going into something like hope. Like if it doesn't work out, it's fine, but don't go into something with that mindset right from the beginning.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
No, I agree. That's cool.
Are you still? Do you still believe in cryptocurrency?
Yeah.
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 You're still like playing with it?
Not so much anymore. I'm more invested into actual forex trading because it's more. You have more control of it. The crypto market is a little unpredictable sometimes and
a little volatile.
Yeah. So like, I'm not so much invested into the tokens or like the coins, but more into the technology.
Sure.
Yeah.
So do you understand what like how mining works?
I know it works, but I'm not too educated on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping you could educate me on it.
Yeah. I could tell you like the basics, but probably things you already know. So I'd rather not talk about it because I don't know too much about it. So I don't want to give any false
I'm not
info.
going to make you.
That's good.
I had a question about Bill Gates, and it's slipping my mind. You saw that he like gave away his fortune once again.
Mm-hmm.
Like what was it? It was an insane amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
A guy like him,
Jeff Bezos did too.
He gave half of it away.
Was his ex-wife's name Charity or what? A guy like Bill Gates, like I've heard people refer to him back when he was young. Like when did he start Microsoft? He was probably your age, if not younger.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I'm not sure.
I don't know either.
Yeah, me neither.
That's redact that. But I've like people used to describe him as a ruthless kind of entrepreneur, if you will. And now when you see him, like, he's a complete humanitarian. Like, is that, I guess where this is going, sorry, I'm kind of finding my way through this question. A lot of people talk about 1%ers and how they should be taxed differently than us, for example. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that the Bill Gates, the Elon Musks, the Bezos, like, should they get taxed differently? Do you think it's fair?
I mean, they should pay taxes, but on the other hand, they play a huge part in the economy. Like, entrepreneurs, they are the people who create the jobs. They're the ones who make
the world go around.
Basically, yeah, they create the jobs. So people who don't want to have their own business, they can make an income, right? Because someone risked their entire life for them to do that, right?
Yeah.
And when you start hiring people, you actually start thinking about it more. Like this person is actually relying on me. Like, they need to pay the bills, and I have to make that happen for them, right? And they have a huge responsibility, like Elon or Bill Gates, whatever, any serial entrepreneur or someone who has a big business. They have a big responsibility to manage all those people and create those jobs and create new technologies to advance things, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so that's kind of the way I look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, of course they should pay taxes. I mean,
but
I mean,
like,
you have the chance to be 1%er just like they did, right?
Absolutely, and that's what I was trying to get to. With I was just wondering what your opinion on that was, because me and Ed talked about it a little while back. There's people who want the 1%ers to pay like 3/4 of their fortune into taxes, and that's kind of
they
bullshit.
Deserve it.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
They're the ones who busted their nut for it.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, like, let's say the States does that, where they're like, well, we're going to tax the 1%ers this much. They're just all going to move away from the States. And then who's going to pay for everything now?
They can come to Canada.
Well, and then Canada's going to follow suit, and then they're going to leave Canada, right? So you can't just do that. You can't scare them away, because they make the things.
And that's where you made a really good point, is that they're the guys creating all this work for people. And they're the guys, well, basically making the world go around because they figured it out, or... Yeah, and they're probably born special or different, because I think their wiring up there is probably different than mine, for sure.
It's something you can develop, though.
Myself.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
I think so. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think so too.
There's hope.
Yeah.
No, that's great, man. Like your social media, though, I like it quite a bit. I don't follow all of it because you post quite a bit, yeah. But I try, and I do, because we've exchanged on Instagram and whatnot. So
yeah.
Some questions were funny. Which one was it again? I think I answered it wrong. You asked something. As I vote on the Instagram.
Oh yeah, that was the regret thing.
Yeah, the regret thing. That's right. All of a sudden, I was just like, wait a minute. Wait, hang on. So I read it again, and I'm like, oh, I think I meant to hit the other one.
Yeah, but the way I worded it was a bit funny too.
Yeah,
like I read it. Okay, some people might get confused from this.
And I liked how you had a long video explaining the whole thing, and I was just like, okay, good. We are on the same page.
Yeah.
That's great.
So do you speak German at home?
Well, it's a mix of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is your wife German as well?
Yeah. We tried it the German just so our kid learns German.
Oh,
and when
sure.
they go to school, they can learn English.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before they hit school, they should know some of it. But
does that ever mess with you, like when you're doing the Instagram stuff? Like, because do you think in German but you're typing in English?
No. At this point, I think more in English.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I can relate
here
to
for
that.
quite some time
Yeah,
already.
since you were 11, you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can relate to that. I didn't grow up with English either, so
yeah. No, like English.
thought process.
English comes easier for me now.
Mm-hmm.
And German kind of comes harder now too.
Same here, man.
Yeah.
My German is so rusty.
So like my English isn't perfect, my German isn't perfect.
Yeah. Same here.
Perfect. No, that's good though.
And then my Spanish is suffering quite a bit too. Oh man.
You need to brush up on that. Yeah.
I think me and you should just start having conversations all in Spanish on our
drives.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Sí, señor.
Cool. Is there anything like you want to like plug in here for people to check out?
Well, if you want to learn more about me, or just get in touch, Instagram's probably the best way to do it.
We'll leave a link. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Other than that, nothing much to say.
You guys should follow him. A lot of good stuff.
He's a smart fella.
Yeah.
Patrick, it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Until next time.
Yeah. See ya.
Thanks for watching this episode of The Green Room.
If you want to support the show, we have a Patreon. It's going to be in the description below.
Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe like always. And here's some videos for you to enjoy.
Yay! Videos!
Bye.